Hello and welcome to the Black Mind Podcast, the only show on the internet where I am a piece of shit. Debatable.
I mean, are you like a 10-pound bag of shit or just a tiny piece of shit?
Okay, you're actually like serious by this. Thanks, Josh. Joining me this week is Allan as well.
Sup, bitches?
You're like a piece of shit. I'm like, no, hold on. You can walk and talk.
You're not a piece of shit. You're kind of like a piece of shit.
You're a sentient walking piece of shit.
Thanks, Josh. I appreciate that. I don't like what you said, but I appreciate that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's just a fucking joke because it's a terrible joke.
I know, but it's still mean.
Yeah, that's why I was laughing hysterically. Because it didn't mean a single of it.
Good for you. So, what did everyone do this week? Allan, you didn't get. Well, okay. Let me rephrase that. What did everyone buy this week?
What
did everyone?
I got buy? 2 monitors.
Oh, you got 2 monitors. Well, good for you. You're a fucking piece of shit, you fucker.
Yeah. Although it turns out these monitors are actually older, but I didn't care because I just wanted the ports on these goddamn things. I wanted the ports, and also I wanted to have the same high hertz that I had before.
Oh, good for you.
So it still works out.
Good for you. You got old monitors, you old.
Well, I still paid like $200, but apparently if you're getting high-end monitors, you're always going to pay $200.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever.
Yeah.
So far these monitors are doing pretty good, and I think I got the color calibration down.
Good for you. Can I borrow the color calibrator?
I just used Windows color calibrating. That's all I did.
Oh. I actually want to get a color calibrator.
I was gonna say, like, is there an app or something? I was fiddling with that the day before, and I could not figure out if it was my eyes or the monitor or the thing I was using. It was actually like weird or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, is it me? Is it the monitor? I can't tell anymore. I thought I knew what color is, but I don't know.
I'm just gonna wait until Josh finally gets a stinking what's it called? Display.
VR headset?
No, drawing tablet.
And then go absolutely nuts about true color.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun day.
I freaking went nuts over that in high school whenever I did art class, because in the art room that we had in my high school, it was actually meant to be the band room because it had such high ceiling. But the thing was, it's such an echoey room that it just makes you go deaf. So it ended up being the art room. But in this basic art room, they had lights on this. They had, what was it, whites, the typical white lights that are actually kind of more blue in color. but they usually turned them off during class time because, again, the art teacher was a cool person, and she's like, "Oh, we should turn them off because there's get enough lights through the ceiling was also had windows in it, so you could get enough light through that sometimes." But towards through the winter, I get crazy because I'm like, I can't see the color, so I end up flicking the lights, and the teacher go, where do the lights come from? It's like we're all vampires in the freaking art room, and when I turn them on, everyone goes,
Huh. Okay.
And I was like, I want to see my picture, and I was like, well, fine.
Cool. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got told not to get in prison.
Well, you shouldn't, because it actually just kind of just straight up destroys your
Life.
life and your chance of getting a good job and being able to leave the country and actually get to do anything interesting with your life.
Okay, let me
keep going.
No, I just wanted to say I'm slightly offended that the individual who said this to me thought I was going to intentionally put myself in prison. I am more likely to get killed by stabbing or shot.
Or what if you get stabbed by a needle?
Then I'm probably gonna cry.
Because you'd be like, I don't know what was in that. I could get blitzed to shit or die slowly. Either way.
You gotta keep in mind.
Or both.
You gotta keep in mind, Josh, that I've never done drugs in my life. So it's like,
I think blitzed to shit is going to be the least of your problems.
like, if that were to happen, like, I would probably be like terrible. That would probably be bad.
Yeah. Freaking.
Like, I would probably die of an overdose.
That's probably going to be the situation.
Yeah.
Although the only reason I say that because like, and again, a podcast I listen to, the freaking Super Best Friends, like one of the I say character, but it's like one of the dudes on the show. It's like, yeah, one of my fears is just getting stabbed by a syringe. And I'm like, that's so precise and so out there. That's like, who's gonna stab you with a syringe? The guy who has a syringe kind of wants to keep his syringe.
Actually, it depends.
At the same time, it's like, but you know, like, how hard? Like, it's kind of it's gonna be how hard it is to get a syringe, and also how hard it is for this guy to get drugs, and how hard it is this guy's gonna shove this dirty syringe in your body. It's like a lot of it doesn't add up. Like maybe the guy was crazy or something, then he does it. That makes sense. But it's like, I think he would just look at his own syringe and go, "Oh, I need to use this again." So he's not gonna go through that.
Mm-hmm. It depends.
It's a lot of variables, like a lot of variables. But like, I just think of it as like, you probably only have a syringe. You want to keep the syringe as long as possible.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
sorry.
Syringe talk. Let's talk about crazy ways you might die. Syringe, least likely. Knife stabbing, probably.
Skydiving.
Skydiving.
Man, there's some fucked up shit with skydiving.
Look.
I actually learned some very interesting rules for skydiving, and it's actually it's actually one of them was pretty funny that I learned, and I was just like, wow, that's pretty fucked up to learn that. A lot of people make the mistake that if their their first chute doesn't open, like their first chute.
They're fucked. They think they're immediately fucked.
Their mind goes into a panic and they start running.
Shit, that's amazing.
It's horrifying because your mind's like, oh my god, the chute didn't open, and your feet just start kicking out underneath you, so you look like you're running as you fall because you're falling face first.
Oh, that's fucking.
But the way and I actually now know this. It's actually pretty funny that I learned this procedure from a guy who did skydiving and hasn't done it since he saw his instructor get killed. He's like, yeah, no. What you do is you calm yourself. You count to 10. You count to you do. So you count to 5, in steady paces as you're doing it. And you pull out your your cutting knife. You cut your lines for your primary chute because your secondary chute won't deploy as long as they're in. And then you pull your secondary chute. And by the way, as he put it, you're probably gonna break your legs you're probably gonna either have broken like at least a broken bone when you make your landing with your secondary chute.
Yeah, because that first one, the second one's on your back.
No, the second one's on your chest.
Yeah.
No, sorry. I mean the first one you're pulling is on your back.
Mhm.
Yep.
But the first one is gonna do some damage.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm afraid, man. I'm flipping all words
Christ.
around.
Yes, I know what you mean, but like, holy fuck.
Yeah,
Josh.
yeah. So what I'm saying,
the reason why it's gonna do damage to you, and the reason why it's gonna hurt you is because it's smaller. It's meant to slow you down just enough so you won't, you'll be able to walk away, mostly.
oh, World War One parachuting. Okay.
Not even that. Actually, believe it or not, there's actually a pretty funny rule about the
wasn't the World War One parachuting like so bad, like 20% made it out?
No, actually, it was surprisingly good because the moment, like, initially it was bad because, like, again, like, what are you gonna do, like, with the British, what the British did, which is actually something that I'm actually appalled to find out about, but I still get a bit of a giggle out of it at the same time, is they wouldn't give their pilots parachutes because they would figure that it would make them fight more fiercely.
Sure.
So that's the reason why British pilots had such high casualty numbers, because, like, that was the thing. Is like, yeah, don't get shot down, or you're dead. Period. And that's the reason why they had such a fast high rate of turnaround for the British British Expeditionary Air Force. The German Air Force gave all their pilots parachutes, all of them, every last one of them. The moment and like it wasn't like a big problem. The thing was, is unlike modern parachutes for the American, like, again, for most military things, it's a single chute, like, things, but it wasn't all that good. Like, you'd still get hurt when you land. You'd probably bruise a leg, stumble, hit the ground pretty hard. They weren't big chutes like how, like, modern military and modern parachutes are now. But a rather interesting fact is the fact that in World War II, with the American paratrooper program, there's a very specific rule about the parachutes. You get one chute. And if it doesn't open, you're fucking dead. And and like I was telling the people when one of the guys was telling the story about it, like, yeah, I did parachuting for a while because I really wanted to try it. It was a really interesting hobby and stuff like that. And, like, we got talking about it, and I brought up the topic of, like, well, the military still practices only one chute policy because, well, you're parachuting into an area that you need to, like, make sure you have enough supplies to survive. And because how, secondary chutes deploy from your chest, well, on the front of your chest is your rucksack carrying your food, your ammunition, your weapon, your change of clothes, your tent, your gas gear, your specialist supplies if you're like a demolition specialist and stuff like that. So you can't put a second chute there. So you have a chute. And it's the reason why there's a song called Blood Upon the Risers, which I'm going to link here in chat here in a second, because it's actually it's a grim, dark song, and you want to what makes it great is it's a the point of the song is oh yeah, the new recruit got killed on the fucking first jump he ever did.
Good. Can I start talking about something funny that I find hilarious?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna read you the headline, and then you're gonna go, "What the fuck?" And we should also probably talk about Fallout 76 because. Okay. Going back to what I was gonna say. Edmonton old folks' home angry about crematorium being placed right next to them.
I don't see why. Just expedience.
What?
A crematorium. Do you not know what that is?
A crematorium is where you get cremated, Josh.
Oh, jeez. No, sorry. I didn't hear. I was like, what is this cream? What is this cream?
Crematorium.
What delicious creams do they have?
I worry about you some days, but the fact that you didn't know what a fucking crematorium was.
Look, man, I might get banned from this stupid chat that I joined.
Why? What did you do?
I
What did
posted
you do?
this image.
Oh, I hope it's just a giant dick.
No, it's a fucking grape.
Oh, the
image.
Cortana?
Yeah, that's a very good. Apparently, that's cosplay.
That is cosplay.
Okay.
I know the
Yeah.
I know the person who's doing it. It's
And-
fucking gorgeous.
One of them is like, "This seems a bit racy for the night hour," and then one of the other admin goes, "What are you talking about? This is the perfect time for this." And then one of the other admins goes, "No, go to bed, bed. TJ can't handle it." And then everyone basically goes into like crap. So I just respond, "TJ can't control himself."
Oh God.
So, so like he just sent mouth closed and a smile emoji, and yeah, that's
So in other words, Jeff, you're getting kicked from a server. Good
no,
job.
I've been banned from a server before.
I haven't yet, and I don't want to be banned.
I've been
I
banned
try
from a
to-
server because I actively tried to like get myself banned.
Have I been banned from anything?
I got banned from. Okay, well, let me rephrase this.
Oh, I think
I was a part of the server for a long time. They all suddenly started hating me. I don't know why. And so I told one of the guys in the server. He caused a fight between me and not between me and a friend. He caused a breakup between one of my buddy and his now wife. And me and the
his
buddy's
girlfriend?
wife, a girlfriend at the time. And me and that girl, I had done it once before by accident. And
Yep.
the way that I had done it was basically I drank 3 energy drinks in the same day, and my buddy, who we should have on the show, got very scared. I think I don't know what happened, and I had basically gone off on her. I was like, I don't know what's going on. My heart's like racing and stuff like that, and I was having a panic attack. And so he was like, I'm going to drive you to the hospital. I'm like, no, I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine. And then he started talking to me on the server, and he actually got fucking scared. And she was mad at me, so they broke up. And then what ended up happening was he basically like antagonized them. And so I responded with look, we all know that you're fucking gay for him. Just fucking admit it that you want to have his fucking dick in your ass.
And the banhammer came down.
Nope, the banhammer came down 6 months later.
God damn.
like true democracy, it waits 6 months.
It was
That's bureaucracy that you're thinking of.
yeah.
No, both.
I mean,
both.
No, it is bureaucracy, not democracy.
if you
Because
ever
democracy actually surprisingly happens surprisingly fast when it actually is allowed to function.
if you ever look into my server, there's a reason why there's like 2 ranks that are below human attack helicopter.
Human.
It's for the 2 people who basically got me banned. So I'm like, if they ever join, they won't be able to do anything, and they won't be able to talk.
Wait, which server is this?
Full of Wind server.
All right, so totally not mods, decent people, quartermaster general.
Yeah, which are basically like Lord Everything, and then there is server settings, rules. There is human attack helicopter, bots, quartermaster general, safe for work switch owner, and human attack helicopter.
Oh my god.
So there are a few rules that I haven't used. But
Not yet, at least.
yeah, but they're there.
Yeah. Well, trust me. There's a person who I used to be like friends with who I'm just starting to cringe more and more and more at recently.
I think I know who this is because she did that to me during high school. Or is this I'm gonna send the name in chat and then you'll go.
No, this is someone you have never met.
Oh.
This is a person who transitioned, and I'm very proud for them.
Oh, good for them.
She is so far left. I was scrolling through Facebook today, just like chilling out.
Are they
podcast?
Can we
podcast? No, I'm not gonna name them.
No, but can you just say like what they transitioned from to what?
They became a girl.
Oh, good for them.
Oh,
They chose to play it on easy mode.
Oh my god. No.
I can say that.
A couple months back, I was just strolling through Facebook and I saw that's like, oh yeah, you need to have gatekeeping for the left, and I was like, oh, this is this kind of conversation that this person's having, and it's like, oh, this, and it's like, oh, if you don't want to date a trans person, you're transphobic and stuff like that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna leave this alone. And then tonight I saw two posts that bothered me, and it was, the first one was actually a little bit of a giggle. God damn it. Oh, god damn it. Just so everyone knows. Just so everyone knows. In chat. Josh put in chat, would being a black girl equal normal mode?
Normal mode.
Oh man. Stop talking. But okay, I'm gonna continue this thread. So, but then I just kind of like ignored it. Like, and today there was two posts that bothered me about it. And one was, yes, the TERF say that trans men are not women, and it's like, I'm like, I actually know what they mean, but like that's not a mistake on their part, because like trans men aren't women because they mean men who've transitioned to women. They don't mean the other way around, but I'm like, whatever, it's a thing. And then I realized where it was reblogged from. It was Marxist memes, and I was like, well, thank you for confirming where you are on the ideological spectrum to me. Thank you. And then I saw something else that bothered the fuck out of me, and it was like, oh, meet Jordan Peterson's biggest fan. They're not exactly who you think they are, and it's this like 18, like a 20-year-old kid with a My Little Pony shirt on, and I'm like, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. This guy feels disenfranchised because the world literally is disenfranchising a bunch of men, but that's beside the point. And then I looked at the comments beneath, and it was like, no, it's exactly what I thought it was. And I was like, I almost guarantee you none of them have heard Jordan Peterson talk, but whatever. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that person on my friends list any longer, because yeah.
Jesus Christ, Josh, what you said was so wrong, but I know I did it to myself, so
yeah, because I'm like, my head just goes to another direction with it. I'm like, wait, hold on. A plus B does it equal C?
You gotta realize if black men are hard mode.
This is the South Park thing.
No. Sorry, I'll correct this. Black men is like very hard mode. White men is hard mode. Asian men is normal, easy mode, along with most swimming classes except for black women, who tend to be normal mode. And,
okay.
You know what makes it funnier? They still somehow fuck it up. Everyone somehow fucks it up.
Yep.
To some degree.
Yep.
We're terrible fuckheads.
No, we're not. We're fucking we're laughing. We're having fun. We're telling jokes.
See, look at this joy emoji. See the joy?
I see the joy. Can we talk about how bad Fallout 76 is, because it's gotten worse over the past few weeks.
Man, I barely saw anything on this.
Go ahead, Josh. No. I want to hear what Josh. I want to hear what Josh has heard, and then I'm going to say what I've heard and say what I've seen, because I've watched a few people play it, and it's oh my god, just go, Josh. What have you heard about Fallout? What have you heard about Fallout 76?
So the first thing I've heard about it was I was watching not a live stream, but like one of the stream, like uploaded stream on YouTube of a Twitch streamer named the Vine Sauce guy. He was going through this 76 because I think he got like a pre-order or code somehow, and he's playing through it, and I was like, this is just looks like Fallout 3 to 4, like same thing, just different, different locale and different different map basically. And the more he was playing it, more I started to realize, like as he's talking and like talking to other people on the game, he start realizing, hey, this game has voice chat, and it's the voice chat is distance based, so you can, if someone's far away, you can hear them from far away, type of thing. But it's like, can you have a chat room? Can you turn it off in any way?
Mm-hmm.
Can you fucking, did the game even tell you in the first place this is a thing?
Nope.
Because it's like after he made these points, it's like, wow, this game is shit.
Yep.
So shit.
Okay.
So
Keep
bad.
going.
And then another thing, I like to listen to podcasts and stuff, and then Giant Bomb themselves said, we're just simply not going to review 76 because I don't want to plow through 40 hours of gameplay to give it a number, which is like, that says something right there of like how shit your game is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the thing that I've heard and seen. There are no NPCs, which makes the game only enemies and only players. Which wouldn't be a bad thing if it was, apparently it's like a 20 mile by 20 mile or 20 kilometer by 20 kilometer map, which is actually like huge for a single player game. But then I realized something else. They have a hard cap of number of players on the map at any given time to 24. Okay, so a 20 by 20 map with 24 people on a map at any given time. Okay, that's a person and like a tenth, or a person and a fifth to each kilometer by kilometer. That's not a good thing. On top of that, this is another big thing that actually got me. You can base build in this game.
Really?
Yep. So you can build bases, and when you log out, the base disappears. Yeah, this is where this rant's going. You have so we have no NPCs. We have a small map player presence with to the point of being 1.2 players per kilometer, let's say, square kilometer. Bases can be built but disappear when you log out. PvP is only initiated through you shoot back and they shoot you kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to somebody who explained this is how you fix this game. And he even straight up this is Sargon talking about this game, because he actually sat there. He's like, no, right now, because when initially it was getting coming out and people getting early access and stuff like that to play the closed beta or open beta, whatever it was, or limited beta or whatever again. He was kind of no, let's see how this goes, because we're limited beta testers. They might not have the NPCs for beta testing just to see how the game is stable. And that was his argument, which is fair. And a lot of people are like, okay, well, we'll see. Day of release, everything stays the same. Nothing changes. And a lot of people were like, okay. And Sargon literally turned around and said, okay, this is how you fix this game. And he's like, if the map is going to be this big, you need to have the ability to have 40, 50, 100, 200, 500 people on this map to be make it feel like a true apocalypse wasteland. You need to have, the bases need to stay, but they need to be tier based. So if you form a group, let's say a clan or a faction in this world, people get pulled in, they start piling resources in, they build temperatures. This is what post-apocalypse things are all about, is building a new settlement. There you go. put NPCs back in the world because they are an important thing. They give you quests, they give you items, they help you explore the world. They can set you up for like limited item purchase. You can set up NPC caravans that you can hit and raid, and all that fun jazz. You can set up like the nuke shouldn't be something that's so easily found, because apparently within an hour of the game being released, people had nukes. Yeah, and he's just like, he just lambasts it, and when he comes to the point of like only being 24 players to the size of the map that it is, meaning that you wander around by yourself or with a friend and you don't see another player at all. The staff who like made this should be pulled out in front of the office and informed, you guys have a month to fix this or it's all your jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Bethesda didn't do any of this shows to me that Bethesda can never Bethesda, like, I never didn't like the idea of Elder Scrolls Online. I saw that idea and I was like, that doesn't sound like a very good idea to do it. Because
the only thing they had to add to their video games is just a basic like co-op over, maybe like 10 people can join in your co-op game, and that's it. That's all they had to do.
Yeah. But actually, I would say make it friends only who can join in. Make it so that you can either do it in online or offline mode, and that's the difference. And all you need at that point is like, yeah, hey, who wants to play some Skyrim or some Oblivion, or who wants to go to Hammerfall, or what was it, Red Hammerfall? The like the Sand Kingdom, and let's go beat up some griffins and shit like that. And like, yeah, like you get a group of like 5 or 6 players and you go off on this quest, and every player who joins in bumps up the enemy's levels and equipment and experience gained from them substantially, where it makes you feel like you have to, like, more people come in, well, there's 2 people in, well, we need to, you double the experience you gained, but the enemies are 2 to 3 times harder, and it staggers up like that. So like you go to 4, and the enemies are 4 to 6 times harder, and bosses are on average 7 times harder than what they would be if you were just a single person. So it makes it like you have to be like more strategic, more capable, more built more towards teamwork and stuff like that. And that's the thing, is Bethesda, in my opinion, and a lot of game companies that do these online games don't understand how to do online games.
Oh no, that's entirely the problem.
And then again, a lot of the people who what I've actually come to realize, because I think you mentioned it to me, Jeff, is that it's salespeople who now run these companies and not game developers or game.
No, that was Josh.
Was it Josh?
It was Josh.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Sorry.
And yeah, like, no, you're right, and like you're also wrong partly, because the problem is that, like, yeah, salespeople run the companies and stuff like that, but you also get people who aren't as passionate as they once are. And then you have people who sit there and go, well, we can put this out anyways, and the dev team will fix it. A lot of people tend to push things off to patches now, and nobody's holding game creators to a standard.
Nobody optimizes anymore. Nobody, like...
Because that's something...
But again, that's a problem with the game industry. And it's the reason why, like, I'm not as big about, like, big game releases anymore. Like... Doom was a good example. Doom is a perfect example of a company that like fucking loved their idea of their game, wanted to do like, no, we have to keep it true to like the old version of the game. We have to make sure that everybody understands, like, yeah, no, this is a running gun'em game. It's first person horror. It sticks true to what the ideals of Doom is, which is violence, gore, and more violence.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing is. That's not that's the reason why Doom is so loved by the community, because like, no, they handled Doom correct. And then we see Doom Eternal come out and everybody's like, holy shit, we thought we couldn't get any better. Stop, my boner can only get so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why like I'm actually like a very like big advocate for, like, if you're gonna do the game proper, put the effort in and put the passion into it, because, well, it means you can just actually like full up, straight down, no holds bar, go for this, and just like it's like this is developed by id Software, but it was published by Bethesda. So it tells you the big differences between like the subsidiary companies and like the big boys. Like a good example, EA, Bethesda, Blizzard, and there was a fourth company. I can't remember Activision. Those four companies are actually really bad for this, where they don't put the passion behind the projects anymore.
Oh yeah.
They just pump them out for money. And it's the reason why I haven't played like Overwatch in forever, and it's also the reason why I haven't like as much as I want to play, like a good example, World of Warcraft with some of my buddies. I kind of can't, because like I can't get behind Blizzard's like community management, how they manage, like how they do like their transactions and how they set up like their gameplay and stuff like that. It's the main reason why I haven't touched Overwatch in forever. And like some people, like me and Rory got into a disagreement about like how fast the game mechanics and the game like development of the league and like what's it called, like the meta, because Overwatch is supposed to be a meta game. It's supposed to constantly change. It's supposed to constantly develop. But my problem was no meta settled, because within 2 weeks of the meta like starting to form,
Blizzard changes.
The Blizzard patch would change it, and the meta would change like completely off to somewhere else.
Yeah. Like that's I think everyone's.
It's not that I don't agree that meta shouldn't change. I think it should, but it needs time to settle, and it needs time to grow. And that's the reason why Blizzard has suffered because of it. Blizzard doesn't know how to make a balanced game. Blizzard doesn't know how to make a competitive game except for RTSs. And even then, they're kind of iffy because they can't. They can't make balanced games. That like Zerg are just really, really good, or Protoss is really, really good, or Terran, depending upon which patch you are or which game you're playing. That's literally it.
Okay.
Okay, go.
Okay. I'm going to sit here and say that StarCraft 1 was originally really balanced.
Actually, no, because remember the mechanic of Zerg Rush?
Yeah, but that was because basically they had gotten it to a point where the strategies were basically, they weren't constantly updating the game.
Well, no, because you couldn't, because the internet wasn't a stable thing back then.
But they had balanced it to a point where, like in Brood War, where it was like basically the strategies were all basically tied. The other thing I'm going to sit there and say is that yes, you're correct. Blizzard does not know how to balance a game, but this ties into the fact of you need A hero to be better than C hero in order to increase wanting of D hero. Directly counters C hero.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, is, well, if A hero is better than C hero, why would you want D hero?
Right?
Because A hero is clearly better, and then you just always pick A over D and C.
Right?
So that's not a balanced game mechanic.
No.
That's actually bad game design.
Yeah.
That's like you put up this fucking amazing character who's just like better than all the other choices. Why are you playing anything else besides them? Right. Excuse me.
Bless you.
And that's my problem is the meta. When I speak meta and like balance and stuff like that, I can actually use a good example of Company Heroes and Dawn of War 2, the original two of both those games. Company Heroes is an incredibly balanced game where you can have like clutch, like take back the map, heroic moments where you take back a position, you turn the tide of the battle, and you win the game because of it. But it's not because like the one side is like completely unbalanced early game or completely unbalanced late game. They're actually like balanced all the way up. They're balanced. They're like set standards. They don't tip one way or the other. It's like, sure, you can get a Panther for like X amount of cost and stuff like that, but like, why would you want a Panther when you can get this tank and it works the same way and stuff like that? And like everything is incredibly balanced, and it's just like, well, okay, I can get the Panther, which is expensive, but it's durable. It does a lot of damage, and it's really hard to deal with for like the allied player, whereas the pack, which is the equivalent, like the cheaper equivalent to the Panther, is stable. It can shoot better because it's an ambush setup, and it's really hard to deal with because tanks can't hit it. It's a small little target, but it moves very slowly, and it's meant for a defensive stance. So your enemy has to come to you.
Okay.
And it's made of infantry, so flamethrowers just wipe it out.
Okay. Yeah. No, I understand.
I'm prattling on now.
Yeah. So, like, going back to the topic at hand and stuff like that, because we went from Overwatch to this and stuff like that, the plot thickens because people went bonkers after they spent $60 on this game, and Bethesda still does this thing where they'll do $200 special editions.
Yep.
Josh, your opinion?
What?
On the $200
Sorry?
special editions, what's your opinion?
We're talking about special editions and stuff like that.
Oh, right.
Personally, I have no problem with $200 special editions.
Josh, your opinion?
I personally don't have a problem with it. Then here's my reason why.
Let's save it. Let's save it.
Yeah. Josh, go. Sorry.
Josh, go.
So you can. I think that's fine to have a $200 special edition. I mean, once in a while, I'll see a special edition and go, maybe I can get that. Because I'd be like, oh, maybe there's a dumb art book in there, and maybe there's a dumb audio CD. I can have the soundtrack of the game. Maybe there's a dumb action figure / plush toy of the main character / sidekick character.
Right.
And then maybe some stickers and buttons and pins. Oh, that's a $200 set right there. Oh, and even it comes with a dumb bag. I love it.
Yeah.
This is everything I want. So you give them their money and you get it, and you get a shitty bag, and not you get all the items but a shitty bag. And it's like, well, I guess I get what I paid for.
But like my personal opinion and stuff like that is that like it's fine when you get stupid crap as long as you know it's stupid crap.
Exactly.
As long as you know
get
that
exactly that it's advertised.
Yeah. And I think that like part of me thinks that like, okay, there are some times that where like you get useful stuff, but there was other times where you get like jack shit and you shouldn't buy it and stuff like that. But there are times where you get useful stuff, and that's cool. But I'm going to.
Oh, you know the actually I didn't pre-order this. I actually bought it because they had a sale on it one time, and they said, "Hey, do you want the pre-order item to go with it?" I went, "Wait, didn't this game come out 3 months ago?" And they went, "Yeah." And I go, "Okay." They gave me the pre-order item, and it was like these shitty stock cards that are just printed out of a sheet that you get like with a board game. And it was like, what are these cards? And if I remember correctly, it was a Persona game. And the more I look at these cards, the more I'm like, why did they even bother? Like, they shouldn't even did anything. If anything, give people a shitty pin. I felt better with a shitty pin than these shitty cards. Like, if there's any shitty item I want, it'd be probably a shitty pin. Because at least you can, poop one out and be like, yeah, you get a shitty pin. But it's like, these stupid cardboard cards are so cheap. And it's like, why bother? It's not worth it.
Okay.
Like, wow.
Okay, can I?
Man, I just surprised I just remembered that. Like, oh man.
Okay, can I continue with like what I was going to sit there and say?
Yeah, go right ahead.
And then me and Allan can get into it. Allan, what's your 5-minute opinion?
All right.
On special editions.
$200 special editions I'm fine with because I've bought in a few. Hello. But at the same time, I can understand why people don't agree with them. Personally, this is the reason why I'm okay with it, is because it's a game. If it's meant for like, here's a gift for the fans. Like, again, what they did with what Bethesda did with like the Pip Boys and stuff like that. Everybody was like, I wasn't even mad about that. I was like, fuck yeah, like that's a fucking clever way to get like people into this game and like stuff like that. It's a really cool like item that you can get. It's like it's a cool collector's thing, and that's the thing it should be. Is it should be a collector's thing. Like a good example, like a statue. Like a good example, Halo's. If you go find Reach, like you have this cool statue where all of them are there. Halo 5 actually had a really cool statue which like could come apart and you could put books between it, and that's what I did with mine. I use it as like a bookend.
And that's useful and stuff like that. And I think that like this is the reason why everyone's so upset about something very hilarious. Oh God, there's a new topic we can talk about later. But this one might be something that me and Allan will go at rip apart because it's hilarious. Okay.
Do I even want to know right now, or
no,
do I
you don't.
Wait?
No, we're gonna wait because this is going to go on for like eternity, and might turn into a tirade. I don't know. So Bethesda initially, when they revealed their Fallout 76 special edition.
Is this about them cutting off like not accepting returns now?
No. This is about the most petty shit ever. And I can kind of understand why people are pissed, but it's still petty.
All right.
Okay. So when Fallout 76 initially revealed their launch edition, they were like, we're going to give you a cloth bag. Okay? So like, here's a cloth bag, you get this helmet, you get this cloth bag, you get this other thing, okay? And you get the special edition of the game. So they then did a bait and switch where basically they sat there and said, oh, you still have to spend more money in order to get all of the digital items for the special edition.
This is going exactly where I think it's going, isn't it?
Okay. And then everyone was like, this is bullshit, that's bad, and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, yeah, totally, it's bad, and stuff like that. But that's the way it works, and stuff like that. If you don't like it, too bad, so it's sad.
Oh, alienating their community.
Yep. Okay, it gets better.
Oh, boy.
Fallout 76 is special edition. You remember when I said that they shipped you a cloth bag?
Oh, no.
It's made of nylon. So the prototype was made of cloth. So their excuse was...
Canvas.
Yeah, canvas. And now they're like, no, you get a nylon bag.
Canvas?
Canvas. It's a nice bag. Canvas is nice.
It's like an army grade bag.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like sandbag?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Burlap sack.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Body bag. It's kind of like body bag. But everyone immediately sat there and freaked the fuck out and stuff like that. So on top of like everything that just happened and stuff like that, on top of the game being terrible, on top of the special, on top of all the bullshit with the special edition, on top of everything, they sit there and immediately did that, and everyone just had a mental fucking breakdown.
I don't blame them.
I mean, that's... After all of the bullshit and stuff like that, you would think they would sit there and at least go the extra mile in order to, like, give you a cloth bag. But, like, holy fuck. Man, that's fucking petty. And in order to make the problem go away, because that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to make the problem go away. Like any business, they were like, okay, well, we'll give them something for free. Let's give them 500 atoms, which is equivalent to $5, and you can't buy anything in the store with the $5.
Yeah, I'm glad I did not jump on this bandwagon.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, no, we've seen this happen like 40 times. We've seen it happen with Bungie.
Not 40 times. I'd say more like 20. About half that.
We've seen this with Bungie and Destiny too, where greed got ahead of them and they completely ruined the Christmas event.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not wrong. 100% correct. Quote me on that. We've seen this happen with EA time and time and time again.
Okay.
We've seen this happen. Now we're seeing it happen to Bethesda, and it's like, they need to change the engine and stuff like that. And but they're also like sitting there and doing complete and total bullshit moves. And I would sit there and I would say Bethesda's very confident and competent. I would say the only issue with them right now is the fact that, this isn't normal. This is like this reeks of like we can shit something out and people are going to buy it. This reeks of cockiness. And it's just like amazing to me that it's like, wow, they shipped that. I can't believe they did that. Nobody else is going to comment on it?
Okay, I don't disagree with you actually.
Good.
But with Bethesda, and this is something that they've been getting, like a lot of like the big boys have been getting problems with recently, is they're thinking that they can do what they want, flex their muscles, and then just immediately walk the fuck away. And they're not listening to what their community is saying. They're not like, hey, we're not upset. Like, that's actually a really good thing, is an example of are actually like trying to be like, say like, hey, so heads up, like, can we do the thing? Can we like you listen to us? And that's a good example is, you're gonna hate me for this reference, but GW used to have the problem of just never talking to their community. We'd find out a day, like a week before, like a month or a week or two before a product was released, and that would be the end of it. Like, it would come out and we'd never know what, like, okay, what's the process, like what's going on, like can we know what's going on? And in the past two and a half years, they've stopped and they've started listening to their community. Like, they're having like conversations. They're having spokesmen at events and stuff like that. They're getting better with listening to the community. The community have been like, hey, we want Plastic Sisters Battle, and GW for the longest time didn't say anything. And then recently, about a year ago, with an announcement, they were like, oh yeah, like it was this time last year that the announcement happened. And it was, hey, yeah, Emperor Willing 2019 Plastic Sisters of Battle. And everybody was like, that's awesome. And then we got new models for other factions. We got, like, we're seeing rebalances. It's been nonstop. Like, this is great. This is great. This is great. Oh my God. Holy cow. What are we doing here? Oh, and it's just, everything just keeps going forward and forward. And like, they're listening to the community. Like, they'll have like little things where it's like, community will ask like, okay, well, what about this character? Are we going to see this character pop up? Is there something going to happen with this? And they'll be like, oh, well, we can't say anything, but like you'll see here in like a couple months. And or like, well, right now this is what this is the project that we're working on. We're trying to get this list codex out, or we're trying to get these models out so you guys can have them and go play with them. And they've actually been listening to the community. It's like, hey, well, we don't like how this this sprue setup is. It's like, okay, and they'll take the model off site, fix the sprue, and put it back up, and it's been great. And that's all you need to do. You need to have people who are willing to talk to the community and go, hey, what do you guys want from the next Fallout game? What do you guys want from the next next like Overwatch character? Do you guys want new maps? Do you want new game modes that are consistently available, unlike Overwatch? Do you guys want an actual story for Overwatch? Because the story for Overwatch is bullshit, and it's not actually a story. It's just, it has no story. But that's the thing, is like, you need to listen to your community, because the community is the thing you live or die by. And if you're not going to listen, the community is going to shrug their shoulders and walk away from you slowly but surely, and then you're just going to be no ad revenue, no money revenue, no nothing. So like, well, okay, bye boys, and people walk away. And that's kind of my stance on the situation with Bethesda and Blizzard and Activision and the fourth one.
The fourth one.
Yeah, because I remember we were talking about four because it was four big ones. EA.
Yeah, like, okay.
They don't want to listen to their established community anymore. They want to try and make quick money.
Yeah. So you want to hear about what EA is doing recently?
Do I even want to know?
Okay.
Selling prostitutes.
Well, they should be doing that. That would make more money
well,
than their
no.
current game lineup.
No. We all know that if they were selling prostitutes, it'd be base model prostitute, and then you have to pay for the DLC for all the extra parts.
So you just get like a.
Am I not wrong?
You just get
I'm not
a.
wrong, and you fucking know it.
You just get a torso and a head. That's about it. Comes in a box.
No, you get the mid, you get the belly, and then you're like, oh man, all I got is the belly. So you have to go get that freaking you have to go buy for the lower half, and then it turns out the lower half doesn't come with a butt, and you're like, I really like butt.
Is this
So
like
you
a
get the butt.
zombie? Is this like a zombie too? Like it's like EA has like corpse technology.
Yeah, they have corpse technology, totally.
Oh, great. So
It's like, oh, I need like, or you get that creepy rubber torso that I've seen on the internet. I'm sure you've seen it too.
yeah, you know what? Like this is sounding something like EA would do, but that's not what they're doing.
Oh god, it would have been easier if they just had a creepy rubber torso.
I mean, you know what? They would make more money if we're honest. I mean, right now, their game lineup is basically shite.
Probably would.
Yeah.
They're really banking on fucking Anthem, aren't they?
You can play Battlefield 5 for free for a week if you message EA support team.
Really?
Yes. So, does anyone else feel like EA is like desperate right now?
Yep.
Because it's kind of showing.
Well, it's not a bad strategy.
No, I don't think anyone's going to sit there and say that. I think the problem with it is that, and this is my personal opinion. This is what I'm going to sit there and say is I think that like, look, when you sit there and you patronize the community, like hard. Like this is not.
Women fought in World War II.
Well, when you sit there and you go, hey, like we have to, hey, like we're making this alternative, we're not making this, we're making this clearly alternative history thing, but we're refusing to call it what it is. It's like, okay, yeah, that's not what happened. And then you sit there and you go, well, it is what happened. It's like, okay, you're being more confrontational than you need to be. So what I'm going to sit there and say is I'm going to sit here and say this, and it's going to be I'm going to try and say this as nicely as it is. Good on EA. I appreciate that you're trying to go after the community. This is not going to work. You want to make it work? Why don't you be honest with everyone for a little bit?
Yeah, like talk.
Mm-hmm.
With your communities. Listen to what they're complaining about something for a very goddamn good reason.
I mean, it's
and
not
as
even
such. Like you probably should step back and go.
It's not even.
Is it us? No, the children are wrong.
Yeah, it's like it's not even like they did something like. It's not even that like Battlefield 5 is a bad game. It's the fact that like
actually, from what I've heard, the gameplay is actually surprisingly it's the same as like all the other Battlefields and stuff like that.
Which has been the same since Battlefield 3, which has been the same since Battlefield Bad Company, which yeah. So what I'm going to sit there and I'm going to say is I'm going to say, you know, it's not even that like EA is like it's not even that like they're doing something terrible. It's just that everything that they've been doing lately has just been mediocre. Been failing consistently. And it's just getting to the point where you're like, well, if one company I think needs to go right now, it's probably going to be EA. Because
if I had a company that I'd say that needs to go right now, I don't want them to go because they're not a bad company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fuck. How do I put this without sounding like a complete and total asshole towards this company?
Mm-hmm.
I think Bethesda needs to go. It's fucking. I know. It's a horrible thing to say because EA should be up there. EA would be the second one I would say need to go because like out of the four that I keep naming, which is Activision, EA, Bethesda, and wow, too many game companies with B's. and Blizzard is that Bethesda just showed how they're handling some of their most beloved games with 76. Fallout 76 is this.
It just
Everybody was like, they hyped it up, they set it up for this like big open world, and they were like, yeah, and then it came out and it was nothing like we thought.
look. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to disagree with you, and I'm going to disagree with you for 2 reasons. Okay?
Go for it.
Okay. One, the whole entire Fallout 76 thing is because the industry right now has a very bad issue with journalists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? People might disagree with what I'm going to say next, but when you're sitting there and you're patronizing, journalists should be defending gamers, not devs.
Yep.
This is why when you have Jeff Gerstmann sitting there saying, we're not doing a review for this game for these fucking reasons because it's terrible, that says a lot. That says a lot. And Giant Bomb...
another actually really good example for something that I can actually point out is that I don't disagree with the game industry has a current problem with the journalists, because it does. It has a huge problem with journalists. It's to the point where like even I'm like, guys, you need to sort this out because it's becoming a problem.
It is.
But the big thing, one of the really, 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 really big problems is the big North American 5. EA, Blizzard, Bethesda, Activision, and I want to say Bungie, but I think it should be probably fall under Sony. Because Sony's getting pretty bad too nowadays.
Oh yeah, well, like it's because you hired.
But the thing is I say that the North American branch of Sony is getting bad.
Yes.
I will differentiate the fact that the Japanese branch is actually fucking solid for the most part. But the reason why these 5 are so bad is because they're like loot boxes, tons of DLC that nobody wants, incomplete games being shipped, product being like trashing their gamer support and their communities, and the fact that they don't want to listen to like what people are saying. And essentially, what a really big problem I think is diversity is our strength is the other one.
Okay.
And this is going to be like a bit of a thing for me. Is I don't mean like diverse. I don't mean that in the sense of like diversity is not a bad thing. Diversity of thought and diversity of ideology is actually a good thing because it leads to a stable and affluent and capable society.
Well, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to step in right now, and then I'm sorry, Josh, we're talking politics right now.
Go for it.
Okay. Well, we got one of those right. We don't have diversity of thought in the industry. We don't have anyone who...
we don't have diversity of ideology either.
No, like that's what I mean. Is like,
well, we don't have it in the big guys. We have it in the
small independent guys. We need somebody like... I don't want to sit there and I don't want to say Palmer Luckey, because Palmer Luckey is just dropped off the deep end. Like
yeah.
What
we need is people. What we need is companies like id Software, Big Red Button, I think it is.
Yeah.
The ones who are doing Cyberpunk.
CD Projekt Red. What we need somebody who sits there and goes up to these journalists and sit there and say, quite frankly, what the fuck are you doing?
Actually, I think what we need is somebody to walk up to the journalists and goes, okay, question. Do you actually have any questions about my game? That about like gameplay, story information, like design information, stuff like that? No, please leave.
Yeah, get out.
That's what they need to start doing, is turning around and like to game journalists like, unless you're asking me stuff about my game and not just like, oh, do you have a gay character? Do you have a female character? Do you have this? You should be like looking them straight in the face and going, okay,
There's
answer
the
these
door.
three. If the in my opinion, the moment journalist asks about diversity or anything like that, you should immediately just stop talking to them. It should be like, and this interview's over. Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah. Well, like the thing is that like, and this is me saying this and stuff like that, is that it's like I said earlier, it's journalists not wanting to do. Journalists are not about protecting gamers anymore.
They haven't been about protecting gamers in a long time.
No, they're about protecting They're all about paycheck now. And
They're not even about paycheck.
no, they're about paycheck.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
They're more about
you make more money.
They are more about sensationalism than anything else.
I guarantee you, they make more money from writing an article about which Castlevania monster has the biggest dick and will probably be the most fun to have sexy times with than writing an article about how Unity is a better engine than anything else on the planet and a great engine to get started in. I guarantee you.
I don't disagree with that statement.
No.
But at the same time,
They make more money from being provocateurs and targeting women
or dishonest
and targeting women and spending something in such a way where it comes off as like condescending,
disrespectful,
than actually doing the job. And that's just it's just wrong. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. So
I don't know anymore. It's
well, like,
gaming journalism needs to be scrubbed clean. In my
no,
opinion.
what needs to happen is you need to get. Well, it's like anything; it starts from the bottom up. You need to get people who are passionate, and you need to get people who actually care. And like this is saying coming from me, so I don't want it. I already have a big enough target on my back. I don't, and I mean this in all honesty. I like Klepek. I like Walker. I like them. I like their style. I like them as people. I think that they're good people and stuff like that, and I don't wish harm on them. But like, and I like Riendo, and I like Gersman, and I like people like Jan, and I like people like Jason, and I like those guys. I like those teams, and like it's just like, man, it's painful to watch them like sit there and be like, well, we're doing a great job, and it's like, yeah, but you're fanning the flames. You know, you sit there and you bitch about Trump 90% of the time, and it's like, stop. Take a second, think about it. Realize that all life is useless, everything's stupid, and you might as well fucking die. You know, nothing you do in this life is going to matter.
That's nihilistic.
Yeah, it is.
That's pretty nihilistic.
No, it is. I realize it is. That's why I'm saying it. It's gone to the point where like you have to actually sit there and you I'm basically watching this industry kill itself actively for no purpose. And it's annoying and it's upsetting, but it's happening. It's actually happening.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, and it's like
but actually a personal thing for me with the industry, it's the kind of the reason why I haven't been like, I want to buy Spyro. I actually really want to buy it and sit down and play it because again, that's another company that look like the company that remastered Spyro looks like they put a lot of time and care and effort into remastering it. Mm-hmm. I want to support the Warcraft team with Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, because if we show these are the kind of games we want you to like go back to this, go back to like making good games just for the sake of good games,
right?
But at the same and that's the thing is like they've become so politicized in the market over there. It's just like, well, okay, I guess anything that we've said to you just doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. I don't disagree with you on the fact that we need to work from the bottom up with the journalists, but at the same time, it's not a bottom up problem in the fucking industry anymore. It's I hate to quote fucking Hitler on this point. It's The building is rotten to the core. All it needs is a swift kick, and it will come crashing down.
And that's the
That is the game. That is the AAA game industry right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that would mean a gaming crash for like and here's the thing, the company that would suffer the most out of this would be Microsoft and Nintendo, because these two companies have been doing their job. Nintendo, since they've started to reel back on like them being super involved in their productions and stuff like that, have gotten way better. Nintendo has now has now put out the Switch, which has been a game changer for their economic situation, and it's great. But if this game industry crash happens where Sony goes under, Bethesda goes under, BioWare, Blizzard, EA, Activision, the big boys, big industry, the guys who are currently the pillars of the industry, who are currently rotten to the core, you'll have Nintendo, maybe Sony Japan, Microsoft, and maybe like 2 or 3 other big studios left over after which. And that won't be enough to keep the game industries up. But Microsoft and Nintendo, if they work together, probably could, but that won't ever happen because Nintendo and Microsoft have different production plans and different production styles.
What will probably end up happening if the industry crashed and stuff like that is you'll probably see Activision go away. You'll probably see EA go away. You'll probably see a lot of the Western companies go away. And I think that Nintendo's in a good place right now. I think Microsoft would probably hobble along with Microsoft with like Windows as a service continuing as it is. You might see Microsoft more move away from hardware.
Microsoft has always been about software though. That's the thing.
But you like what I mean by that is like you might see the Xbox division be more folded into Windows more.
Which actually wouldn't be a bad thing. At the same time,
it's they want to do it. Just do it. Just get it over with. Just finish it.
Well, that's the reason why a lot of people don't get Xboxes anymore, Xbones anymore, because the games that are coming out on the Xbox are all coming out on the PC. So why would you get an Xbox?
Well, you would get an Xbox One X if you want a 4K TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, what I use my Xbox for is for watching Netflix.
Yeah, it's the greatest console for that.
Yeah, no, it's actually like the Xbox. A lot of people, even though it's a gaming console, the games that have come out almost exclusively for the Xbox, like a good example being Spyro, which even though it's on PS4 and stuff like that, it has come out on Xbox as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a bad thing because it's a game that you didn't expect to come out in the Xbox, and it gives it like a fucking solid like game to play on it, and you can't get it on the PC. And that's what you do is, I think consoles are best for things like platformers and stuff like that. Whereas
I agree with you on that. I would also disagree, because I would say it there and I would say that you would never. I would sit there and I would say that like if you wanted the best gaming experience.
No, I don't. Okay, if the moment you include PC, everything else loses, regardless. Like even handheld and phone, like. Just go play games on PC, and if you're going to play on your phone, you're using it to pass the time on a bus or in class or when you're just like needing to kill some time and you can't get to your computer. That's what you play mobile handheld games for, is that quick accessibility to just be like, hey, I just want to play a quick game of like this, so I'm going to jump on my phone and play a little bit. It gets your hands busy. Yeah. And again, comparing PC to console isn't a bad thing because again, PC just trumps everything. Even though PS4 and all that stuff has these exclusive games like Persona and stuff like that, they don't even have Kingdom Hearts exclusive to it anymore. Kingdom Hearts is coming to the Xbox, which is funny because my friend's been like, "Hey, Allan, play this game," and I'm like, the moment they put out 1.5 and 2.5 on the fucking on the Xbox, sure, but that's the thing though, is like like the consoles, in my opinion, are best suited for set up for used to be as your home entertainment setup, so you can get access to like the internet, set up Netflix through it, and like or streaming services like YouTube on it. You use it for that. You use it for watching YouTube on your like big screen when you want to watch like a bunch of like YouTube. Like a good example, like when I clean my basement. I have my Xbox on. I have it onto YouTube, and I'm listening to like a good example, PSA Sitch, Sargon,
Mhm.
Dr. Layman, Aiden Paladin. I listen to those guys in the background while I'm cleaning or stuff like that. Or if I'm sitting down to watch a movie, I go watch like Let's Plays, like Achievement Hunter, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, and stuff like that. And that's what I do. That's what I do on the big screen. That's when I want to sit down and do it.
Mhm.
Most of the time, I tend to do it on my laptop, my phone, or my desktop because like it's just ease of access for me with those.
Yeah. Anyways,
Josh, what's your take on all this?
I have been calibrating my monitors for the past conversation, and I think I get it to where I want. Although now it's just kind of looking a little washed out, so I'm gonna have to crack at it again.
Hey, Josh,
Yeah,
are you recording?
I sure
we'll
am.
never forget this.
No, because he was like, I'm calibrating my screens, and I was like, hey, we should double check that you're recording now because you're fiddling with your computer, and I'm paranoid.
Trust me,
it's not that
I was
it's
just
not that I don't trust you,
paranoid.
dude. It's just like at the same time, I'm like I legit like look down at my Audacity. I'm like, am I recording? Click.
I was a little bit paranoid too because I was like, oh, I gotta make sure that's recording. But I was like, wait, hold on, I'm just fiddling with the settings on the monitor. I'm fine. So,
Hey, just remember, last time you went fiddling with settings, you stopped recording.
no, I forgot to turn it on.
No. This is the one
No,
time.
no.
This
I
is
didn't hit the on button. That's my fuck up.
No. That was the second time it happened. The first time was we were like an hour and a half into the episode, and all of a sudden you were just like, "Hey guys, yeah, my system just stopped recording." What? Yeah, it stopped recording like 20 minutes ago.
What first time I forgot to record? I thought it was only one.
No. One time you forgot to record, but the other time was you were recording, and then it just stopped.
No.
Yes, it was. It was.
I don't
you,
think it was
'cause-
recording and stop. I just didn't hit record.
No. There was the one time it happened before the one time you didn't record.
I'm pretty sure I just didn't hit record, and I thought I was.
Or am I mistaking you for like Iron Legion? Because I think it was
You're probably mistaken for Iron Legion because I'm like that. I just forgot to hit record.
I know
like,
who.
Straight up.
I remember who was just like, hey, my thing just stopped recording, because it was the podcast we had Azrael the Arch on.
Oh yes.
Because Jeff's fury at that moment, because we had just had like this big political discussion, we had to like talk to like we did all the talking points that night. We had been just solid all night.
And you had mathematical equations on the whiteboard.
And we were like, "This is awesome."
You're solving problems.
We were just like, "This is gonna be the best episode we ever done." And then just ever so quietly, we heard in the background, "Hey, so my thing just stopped recording."
Yep.
And it was funny because I could hear Jeff seething in rage.
Yep.
Oh man.
That was the show that made Adrian upset. Never want to come on the show again.
Yep. Because we all lambasted him for it.
No, like he specifically said to me later. He's like, yeah, like I don't think that like since you were so mad, it's best if I pop on the show ever again. I'm like,
you can show up, but you just gotta make sure you don't.
I know, but he's like, it was like the way that I went off on him.
Yeah,
wasn't
which is
good
fair.
enough.
Which is fair. Again, I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna look at the situation and go like, no, like he got lambasted. He's not comfortable with coming back because he got lambasted because he fucked up.
No, he's not comfortable. He's like, I sat there and I didn't sit there and I didn't say you're terrible or anything like that. I want to make that clear and stuff like that. It was what I said was I believe I said, thank you. Thank you for being on, but like that was like I just went basically bonkers.
Yep. If I remember correctly, we also stopped recording at that point of the night.
Yeah.
We legit got done. We were like almost done. We were like a point away from finishing for that night. We had been on for an hour and a half. It was 12:30 0:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And that happened, and I just like, nope, we're going back. I think I was the one who made that decision of like, nope, we're done. I'm going to bed. Night, guys. And I just logged off, and I was just like,
everyone
was done.
Yeah.
And it just like it just made everyone just sour.
Yeah.
Because like we had a fantastic recording. Because I still have the old recording. I went back and listened to it recently because I was like, "What episode is this?" And I was like listening. I'm like, "Oh, this." And then I heard the statement. Like I just jumped to the end just to see like what we were talking about and what episode it was. Because I don't when I ask usually what the mic recording just so I know in case I end up saving it as an untitled so I can just rename it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard it's like, all right, nope. I'm going to bed because I'm not re-recording a podcast at this point. I was like, oh, this episode. That's right.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's a good point to end the show.
Yeah, we don't want to re-record this thing entirely.
Yeah, we don't.
We've been doing this for an hour and 47 minutes by my time.
Hour and 38 is the official count. 39. So this is going to be a bitch around it, and I have things to do this week. So hooray!
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Hooray!
Everyone, thank you for listening to the Black Mind Podcast. I am Jeff. This week was joined by Josh and Allan. You can listen to us every Thursday on blackmindgames.podbean.com. You can also cry if you want, but crying's not going to get you anywhere in life. So we recommend sitting down with a nice warm cup of chocolate and listening to the Black Mind Podcast every Thursday, available on your favorite podcasting app of your choice. Have a good night, guys.
That's exactly what you wanted.
Wow. Okay. Okay, this sounds like...
that means just your hat was shit.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's not even close what that means. That means your hat was made of rainbows, and the dog very much enjoyed the rainbows. You should record this, by the way. This is a great example of a non sequitur. The dog ate your hat. Okay, let me repeat that. The dog ate your hat because the hat was made of rainbows.
God, audacity. Fucking...
That's an example of a non sequitur. Allan, you're smarter than both of us. Tell me.
What?
The thing is, I would have said something nicer about the dog, but my dad's like, the dog has been eating shit. I'm like, you know, it's a dog and it's bound to do that, but I don't think our other dog that we had before ever did that other than eat bunny turds. But I think bunny turds probably a little bit healthier in some degree. You know, the refuges in there. But fucking, it's just, the funny thing is, the entire hat is actually still good. The only part is super fucked is that it's one of those snapbacks, and that's completely fucked. So I have no idea how I'm gonna make this hat work anymore. I don't want to throw it out because apparently it's a collector's item. I look around on eBay and it's like $50 everywhere.
What, $50 for a hat?
$50 for a fucking hat!
Why? Is it because it has like rainbows and stuff and made up from pure liquid nitrogen?
Hold on, let me do a quick Google of the hat I have, because apparently it was a popular hat, but they like printed it once and never printed it ever again.
I did my Black Friday shopping this week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I bought a jacket.
Nice. I missed an opportunity to get a really nice, cool fucking what's it called?
Oh my god,
Switch.
They're just trying to... Oh, you got a Switch?
No, I missed the chance to get a Switch because there was a really good deal online, but like I found out about the next day. Tuesday, and I was like, fuck.
Oh, being the only Switch owner, I feel very entitled right now.
Josh own a Switch?
No, Josh does not own a Switch.
Nope.
Josh is like, I am boycotting the Switch until they release an actual Pokemon game. God fucking damn it. Because I am special. And I sit there and I go, that's nice. I got a 256 gig. Oh!
That was...
You talking that.
I freaking talked about that before.
Wow.
Oh my god, that's a nice hat.
So can
It's
I
a
talk,
nice hat.
Is this the hat? Is this the hat that that Walmart thought you were a retard with?
Not necessarily I thought I was a retard, but more I was a very identifiable person at the time because all the dumb shit I was wearing. Because it'd be like, oh, it's that person who has a blue fucking crazy hat plus a crazy t-shirt plus crazy pants.
Josh should have committed armed robbery because he wouldn't have been caught.
Yeah, it's like, it was this crazy guy, and then I just flip off all my clothes and put on a suit and go, I don't know who that guy was. Clearly not that kid with a crazy hair, with a crazy hat and a crazy shirt and the crazy pants. Clearly not that person. You got the same height and you talk the same way. No, no. Doppelganger. Clearly doppelganger. But yeah, like, I'm gonna see if I can give this hat to my aunt, and maybe she can like whip up something for the hat. But I have a feeling like if she maybe can find like, oh, I found the clips on eBay to put it like sew it back on and it looks just as good, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I will do that. But I have no hopes. Although, now I'm just realizing and looking at this picture on the internet and then looking back at my hat, it's been worn quite a bit. Like it's the color has been darkened.
That's pretty nice, you know. Like, yeah, like, dude, that sucks. I kind of want to.
It's shitty too, because again, I looked it up on the internet of like, could I get another one? Does anyone else even sells this? And like the closest I could find to get the cheapest I can get for this hat is eBay for altogether with shipping $54.98. Like it's expensive. Like Jesus. Freaking lucked out when I got out of EB Games, apparently.
This is like a really good conversation that we're having that we're not synced up for.
But here's the thing: is that like this goes at the end of the podcast, Allan. You don't understand. These go at the end of the show, so the true listener actually listens to who actually listens to the show, like an adult, goes, "Huh? They have like 30 minutes of untouched content." And then they listen to us, and then they listen to us actually ramble on, be racist, and generally be terrible shitheads.
I wonder how many of those people go, okay, where's the ending of the show? There it is. Okay, there's the real content.
This is the real content. I mean, lately we've been like translating more of that towards like the actual show. We're not as structured as we used to be.
I mean, the less structured you are, the more
we are and we aren't in a way. We do things differently now, which is actually pretty cool.
Which is like hilarious because like the one hard thing lately has been like I listened to the entire show. The one hard thing lately has been like actually like tagging the show because it's like, did we talk about this? Like I have a memory of like a goldfish. I swear to God.
And you just listen to it, so you're like, did we talk about this?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that the Giant Bombcast I listen to?
I don't listen to the Giant Bombcast. I stopped listening to Giant Bomb.
I still listen to Giant Bomb, and then I still listen to Super. Yeah,
I'm trying to remember.
Like, I would rather listen to Super Best Friends because they seem like far more gamers than Giant Bomb has been lately.
Okay. Like, I'm actually gonna ask this question again. Giant Bomb.
It's Jeff Gerstmann's website.
Do you want to?
It's. So a long time ago, there was a website called what was it? It's not IG. It's GameSpot. Okay.
Yeah, GameSpot.
So GameSpot.
Jeff Gerstmann.
Yeah, and GameSpot was like, "Hey, Jeff Gerstmann, do your reviews." Blah blah blah. So he's doing his reviews, and he ends up getting the review for was it the
Kane and Lynch?
Yeah, Kane and Lynch 2 or Kane and Lynch 1.
Kane and Lynch 1. He ripped it apart. Basically said this game is trash. And he did his review,
and he said this game was kind of trash, and it was like this weird shit, and not sure if it's like, give it like a 5 or whatever, just because it's like, it's a game, but I'm not sure how it's not very good.
No, he gave it like a 3.
Did he?
Yeah, he gave it a 3. He gave
3 out of what?
3 out of 10.
Okay, that's even lower than I thought.
So he gave it a 3 out of 10. While GameSpot is like just covered like edge to edge in like
advertising from that game.
For that game. And everyone just went like, So they fired him. And so everyone's just like, what the fuck? Like, Jesus cranky. So this was like this was basically like when like gamers had like faith in the press. There was a fucking riot, man.
IG or not IGN, the One Up guys, like at the time when they didn't go
They
under,
actually did a protest.
yeah, there's a protest in front of
And
their
they
fucking
actually-
building. I'm like, good for them.
Yeah, like, and everyone like actually was like siding with Jeff Gerstmann.
Yeah,
time.
because it's like you don't do that at all.
Yeah.
And in fact, it makes you look dirty as shit.
Well, it's like the thing that like I think that like everyone sat there and was like that is like the textbook example of like when you think of game journalists just fucking getting fucked over and stuff like that. Like that's the community sitting there and defending itself.
Yeah.
It's not this weird fractured thing now that we have where it's like the industry is big enough in order to have like everyone involved. You don't have to play certain games and stuff like that. Like I still haven't played Undertale. I still haven't played Metal Gear. The industry's big enough so that everyone fits into it. And like it's just so fractured right now, and like you have like one group trying to control what everyone can do and what every game is. And it's just weird, man, right now. But like that was like when like gaming was more unified and stuff like that. It certainly feels like back then it certainly felt like that, where everyone was like, yep, this is objectively a good game. It wasn't like now where it's like Battlefield 5 is the greatest game ever made, and then it's like, oh, but the sales are shit and the Metacritic score is bad, or where everyone sits there and goes like, well, what's something that everyone disagrees about? Red Dead Redemption's terrible because of suffrage girl in it, and you can kill the suffrage person, and it's like the community is like sitting there being like, oh, this is hilarious. So
I mean, it kind of is, because if you don't know what suffrage is, and then you end up being the idiot yourself.
I think that that's cool that it's in the game. I think it's cool that you can kill her. The reason
I think
why
it's kind of it's just one of the things that they just didn't think about, I think.
Well, it's cool. The reason why I say it's cool that you can kill her, and the reason why I say it's cool, because as somebody who looks at history and goes, man, we can learn a lot of things from here. It's like, yeah, like a cowboy would actually probably, like a guy like that might actually shoot her in the face. Like
Might.
It depends on the person. They might view women as an object. Like he would probably shoot them in the face. That doesn't happen as much anymore, because it's like, well, like that. Like, would I play it that way? No, I wouldn't. But like, I think it's cool that it's in there, and I think it's cool that, like, you know, there's the option. Like, nobody should be immune from history.
Nope.
And nobody should be immune from like something like that.
I actually felt, oh man.
But yeah, like Jeff Gerstmann, like when he got fired, basically like everybody and their dog was like, I can't believe GameSpot did this. This is corruption. This is bad. This is wrong. And then like it happened again, only this time it was different. It was the journalists this time, and they were like, nope, we're right. And it's like, no, you're not. You know, I still sit there and say that, you know, the best solution to solve Gamergate would have been just fire Nathan Grayson and then sit there and beg for forgiveness.
Yeah, and basically that's who Giant Bomb is and why why we're referencing it.
Yeah, like I stopped listening to the Giant Bombcast because I just got tired of like Kingdom Come Deliverance came out and they were like, no, we're not doing a quick look for this. And it's like, but this is one of the biggest releases of all time this year. And it was like, nope, we're not doing it. And it's like, okay, so when Cyberpunk comes out, you guys are not going to do that either?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, like, you're lost content, I guess.
Like, more or less, because there's going to be more other people who are going to be doing it.
Yeah, and I just don't... I think that the problem that I've started to have with Giant Bomb is that, you know, I like Jan. I'm going to say that. They couldn't have gotten somebody who, in my personal opinion, was more unqualified than Abby. Because it doesn't seem like Abby actually knows what she's talking about sometimes.
I mean, like,
And then-
you mean like most game journalists ever?
No, like yeah, like it's like we hired somebody because we needed to hire a woman, and it's like okay, and
Your problem is that you listen to all of it and try to digest all of it.
yeah,
Where I just listen to Giant Bomb and I feel way better.
yeah. Well, like you listen to it and you're like able to like separate political opinion and stuff like that. I listen to it and it's like Vinny goes off on some crazy tangent. It's like whoa, Vinny, what the fuck? You're just showing a division. And he's like, no, I'm right. And it's like, no, Vinny, no, you're not. Shut up. Stop.
No, actually, like, everybody has rights to their political opinions and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's how it is.
But it's like when you sit there and you do that, it's like, how do I say it? How do I say it without being an asshole? When you sit there,
Not too late.
Well, it's going to be. Look, like I've already said in my case, like if anyone ever came after me for my political view and they were a journalist, I would sit there and say, so, your point? What's your point? I want to hear your point. Oh, you have no point. Good. Okay. Here's my point about why you're wrong. Like you have to be able to accept other people's opinions, and the inability to do that is systematically wrong. You know, you're no better than the other guys if you're not doing that. Or not trying to walk a mile in another man's shoes, which is something I try to do and sometimes fail at, whatever. But I just think that like when you sit there and you're in a public place, sitting there and going on a tirade like that is not a good way to do it. And like I just stopped caring. Like I just stopped caring. Like it was like, you know, I just felt as if like, you know, they're trying to do something different and I just didn't like it.
Yep.
So it's like the same thing that happened with Apple. It's like I really liked my iPhone. My iPhone 6 was one of the best phones I ever had. I still maintain that. Even with my Note. I think my Note is, there are some things that my Note does which are better, but I much prefer my iPhone. I think iOS is a lot better polished, even though I haven't touched it in like 2 or 3 years. But that being said, Apple stopped making a phone for me.
Yep.
And why would I support a company when they stop making a product for me? Now, that being said, I am thinking about picking up a MacBook Air, but I watch Louis Rossmann videos, and I see those things blow the fuck up all the time. So I'm just like, no, like, this isn't worth it. And, like, quite frankly, I find myself getting much better information from YouTubers than I ever did from Giant Bomb.
Yep. Well, that's kind of the reason why.
And let me explain like that comment. Like, as a PC gamer, I watch Linus Tech Tip videos because Linus will sit there and talk about a new phone every day, and it kind of fills that hole in my stomach of like, oh, this is what Tested used to be before Tested was bought out by Adam Savage, and now it's all props and crap like that, and like it's just not fun anymore. So I don't care.
No, it's all about making the cool, fun thing. You're not all about. You're not all about crafts anymore.
No, I'm a guy who buys a model kit, assembles the model kit, goes cool, and then puts it on my shelf.
Mm-hmm. You don't even paint it, you monster.
I sometimes do, but I don't want to watch Adam Savage assemble a flipping model kit for 3 hours. Like, I just don't. I'm sorry, I don't. And so, like, when that happened, I kind of was like, okay, this is stupid. And then when Will left, I was like, okay, like, I like Norm, but I was kind of falling off at that point and stuff like that. And then, and then Linus was like, I started watching a lot more Linus. I watched a little bit of Bitwit and Jay's 2 Cents. And then I watched a lot. Now I'm watching like shitloads of Gamers Nexus, Louis Rossmann, and fucking Buildzoid because fuck, man. Like, it's fucking crazy. Things that you've never thought about in your life, like on a motherboard. Like, now I'm like I should get an 8-phase VRM for my next computer. And it's like I don't even know what a phase means. But like I'm just like it's like I get more like that stuff tickles my brain so much more than like Giant Bomb ever really did. I mean, I would rather play games and watch those videos while I'm playing games than watch Giant Bomb Quick Looks while I'm playing the game. And I think I get a lot more productive. I'm a lot more productive out of it than I ever really was with Giant Bomb. And like, it sucks, but like, it's true. Like, I've thrown them on in the past and stuff like that. Like, I still follow them all on Twitter, and like, I respect their opinion, but it's just like I'm done. And like, I would totally do an interview with them if they ever wanted to, or if we ever got that big. But I don't know. I don't think they would like what I would say either. Like, that's the scary thing is like.
Then I could just walk over.
No,
you do your thing, and then I walk in the room and go, "Hey Jeff, want bullshit about video games? Sure, right, sure do."
I would totally be down for like doing that with you, but like I don't know, like if it came out, like I might, I don't know.
So, I just go, like, Jeff and Jeff, what? Want to bullshit about video games? Yeah.
But like that's the scary thing, right? Is like I'm like right now, like I'm in school, and the only reason why I'm in school is because I want to get a job so I can continue doing what I'm doing and make it better. Like one of my goals is to get a podcast studio because I want to like.
I think that's everybody's. I think that's the like just your goal to get a podcast studio. But at the same time, I'm not. I'm just like whatever.
You're not like against it either.
If it somehow works out, then it works out.
Right, but like. It's like, oh, like I would kind of like that. Should we sync?
Sure.
Okay. Sync and
Probably should.
okay.
3,
2,
1.